Hey guys, can you hear me okay? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, good. Hey guys. Trainman, Jared Elliott, Kevin, Preston, Dustin, Sean, Aiden, Brian, Devin, Jared, Luke the Pier, Marquette, Berkshire, Train King. Man, this was a very unscheduled live stream and you guys are pouring in. Happy Sunday. Sometimes the impromptu live streams are the best kind. Uh-oh. The UPs don't want to start. Oh. Oh, there they go. There we go. Now we're in business. That's better. Let's get that going. Craig, thanks Chris Lambert, appreciate that. Yeah, my buddy Bob, he's doing a lot better. Jared says, I love your layout, it's awesome. Thanks, Jared. Old Ohio Angler, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're all having a good Sunday. Just starting up some more trains. We've got the BNSF intermodal over here. Let's see if I can start that thing. Heaviest train in the collection, this intermodal train that's coming around. Kevin said, yes, Eagles won and Cowboys losing. Great weekend. It was not a good weekend for football for me. Ohio State losing to Oregon, Browns losing today to the Eagles, I think, and then at least on the plus side, my Cleveland Indians are moving on in the playoffs. That was an awesome game. Yeah, Sean, I got some colorful trains on the layout right now. Fall colors, orange, red, and yellow. And then the 765. I might add a second engine to the top level though. I was trying to run the big boy. Started acting up again. And it's now at the point where I can't even get it to move. So looks like the big boy is going to go in for repair number 5. I've had it for 4 years, three or 4 years, and I think it's worked 3 or 4 weeks out of those 3 or 4 years. Philip asked if I use the Cab 3 app. No, I only have one Lionel Legacy engine, and I have a base 2, so I just use that when I run it. Jay's Railroad asked how long it's been since I've run my Amtrak P42s. It's interesting you bring that up, because it has been a really long time. I've run the cars when I had some people over, but I haven't run those P42s in a long time. I really like them. They're really cool engines. MTH PS3, great horn. Bill Witzel asked, says he's starting a new layout, wondering if I have a staging yard or if I take trains on and off the layout by hand. I do technically have a staging yard, storage yard underneath the layout. This track can take a switch and loop down to the bottom level where there's a passing track to park a full train, a siding that can park a full train, and a reverse loop that can reverse a train. So it's sort of a staging yard. It at least prevents me from having to take 2 more freight trains off the layout when they're not running. So, typically I'll have 3 freight trains on the middle level, 1 freight train on the top level, and 2 stored below that I can swap out any of those at any time, reverse them in any direction, and never have to take anything off. Colorado, New Jersey said, okay, so the plan is that the folks from the server go over and kidnap you to York so you don't break the streak. Yeah, I'm really, really bummed about York. I guess earlier in the year, the TCA had the wrong dates on their website, and that's what I wrote down. And it wasn't until my layout update 18 went live that someone pointed out that I had the wrong dates. There's no way I can go. I have huge work commitment. There's no chance of me going. It's pretty unfortunate, but that's life. Chris Lambert asked, when am I planning to landscape the mountains? I don't know. It's probably going to be a minute. Every time I accomplish a little bit more, I start running the trains and I'm having too much fun. It's slow and steady progress. Brian says, hello from Iowa. Hello, Brian from Iowa. I think I need to add some smoke to the 765. Let me set my computer down. I gotta add smoke to just about everything, I think. Let's stop the oil train first. I really like these Canadian Pacific ES44s. They're MTH PS3. And it took a long time for me to find them. Chris Montagna found one of them for sale at a local hobby shop of his. He rang me up and said, hey, don't you want this? Haven't you been looking for this? And I said, yeah, I've been looking for this for years. That was this one. And then I got this one from my buddy Brian. But they're sharp. They're really sharp. I'm going to stop the UP now. Put some smoke in those. All right, here we go again. Speed it up. UP. All right. That should be good for the diesels. Should make the room nice and stinky with cinnamon roll. I've been using cinnamon roll for a long time now. I have some pumpkin pie that I like to use on occasion. That one's really good too. All right, still got to fill up 765. Looks like it's completely out of smoke right now. The smoking whistle might be jammed too. So I'll catch up to your comments in just a second, guys. Brian asked if I have a BNSF Heritage unit. No, I do not. I had one technically in my collection very briefly. It was that BNSF Heritage unit that just had all the railroads basically plastered on the side. I never really liked it. My buddy basically like begged me to buy it from him in a trade. He made it part of a trade. There was something else I really wanted, so I was like, okay, I'll buy that engine as part of the trade. And then I immediately flipped it as quickly as I could. I like BNSF. I just, you know, don't need a whole bunch more BNSF. Maybe another ES44 or something. All right. Smoking whistle's good. Let's go. There we go. All right, we got some smoke in the trains. Not gonna burn out any smoke units. All right, let me catch up on a few of these comments. Yeah, Philip, no trees on the layout. There will be trees on the layout eventually. The layout is like at the point where I've done just about everything I can do to where I actually have to add trees, add scenery, paint stuff. Really will really transform the layout. I don't intend on my beige mountains to look like that. PRR Sean, yeah, Sunday night live stream is a surprise. I wasn't planning on it. I just was down here already. Was having a nice time running the trains, and thought, hey, let me go grab my computer and set up my phone to do a little live stream. Robert says, I like the grape scent from JT's Mega Steam. I've never tried the grape scent, but I bet that does smell good. Yeah, I like JT's Mega Steam a lot. I was just saying cinnamon roll is my go-to. I like pumpkin pie a lot, especially in like November, December. I used to do vanilla a lot. I have some hot chocolate, I have some Christmas pine, and I have some candy cane, I think. Don't use them as much. If you have like too many scents going at once, then it all just kind of smells like crap. So I try to stick with one flavor, one scent. Let's see here. Oh, Apple Harvest was mentioned. Yeah, that's a good one. Train Man says, my dad's always worried my big boy is going to set off the smoke alarms. I haven't set off any smoke alarms yet, and I've run a lot of heavy smoke down here. No smoke alarms yet. No, Johnny, I do not have any narrow gauge. Hey, Ryan's Trains, how you doing, bud? Train Man says, do you have any tips for a first-time York participant? Yeah, I would say Thursday is the best day. Get there right when it starts at noon. I would start at the Orange Hall. That's kind of the main dealer hall, and that's where most of the big dealers are, the manufacturers are. There's usually some of the best stuff for sale in that hall. That's where I spend most of my time. It's where I start, and then I spend most of my time in the Orange Hall. And then you gotta check, Blue and Silver is probably where I'd go next. Then get into the other halls when you get a chance. There's no bad hall. It's just That's kind of the sequence I've always gone in. Ray's Train says Yankees in 6. If you have a crystal ball, good for you. Place some money on it. Bill asked if I have any switching industries on my layout. Sort of. The top level, I'm trying to do like a steel mill in the corner, some kind of steel rolling mill or something like that. In the middle of the layout, I have all these like ladder tracks. I think that's going to be a big steel warehouse, like just a kind of a plain big building for steel coils. And I have the intermodal facility, which is not really an industry, it's just an intermodal facility. And that's kind of it. I don't have a bunch of spurs or sidings for industries on the layout. I've always really liked my trains, I've always liked to model trains that kind of look like they're just passing through town, like they're rolling through town, fast and furious, and then they continue on somewhere else. These things are eating up smoke. I also think it doesn't come out of this needle dispenser quite as much. I left my normal cinnamon roll at the Detroit Three-Wheeler Clubhouse last night. Womp womp. Let's see how hot these engines are getting. They're getting toasty. This is 3 powered units, and the 4th one is the only dummy in my collection. Usually I have 4 engines pulling this intermodal train because it's so heavy. So technically, since one's a dummy, there's only 3 engines pulling. 2 of them are Proto Sound 2 engines, which I find, require a little more power and maybe overheat faster. But we seem to be doing okay right now. Get moving. Go. Got to give it some encouragement there. Yeah, these are all Atlas die-cast well cars and plastic containers. Super heavy train. All right. Whoop, I skipped quite a few on accident. New Bright asked if I had any battery-operated trains. No, everything is powered through the rails. Someone asked if York is just large-scale stuff, or do they have HO as well? It's probably 90% O-scale, 5% standard gauge, and maybe a little more than 5% standard gauge, and then 5% miscellaneous. Like, if you're an HO person and like all you're shopping for is HO, you're not gonna have the best time. Like, there's just not that much. It really is an O-gauge train show. Richard asked how I run so many trains at one time. Well, I got a bunch of loops. I have, this layout is 5 loops. So I can run at least 5 trains. And, the top loop, I can run 2 trains at once usually. In fact, I think maybe we should do that. And sometimes I run 2 trains on this outside track as well. Let's see here. I might turn off the smoke on the BNSF. Let's see, top cross, switch, top siding, We gotta turn on the power to the top siding. Let's see if that engine fires up the way it's supposed to. So I just threw the crossover for the top level so that you can see the 765 over there. It's now reversing directions. So it has been going across the bridge that way, or it was going across the bridge that way. Now it's going to be going that way. Let's see here. Switches. All my switches I'm controlling on my phone right now. All right, let's see if I can find this little switcher engine I'm about to pull out. Let's see. You want to work for me, DCS? Yes, you do. All right. Works every time. Not really. Gonna start that in a second. Hello, Michael's Trains. Small Yard Railfan asked if I have the 1225 Pure Marquette Burke. No, I don't. MTH has not made one like in PS3 ever, and Lionel's doing it. They're going to deliver here soon, but I didn't order one of those. I did order the Polar Express 1225 though, so that'll be fun. Daniel asked who made the Canadian Pacific units. Those are MTH. MTH Protosound 3.0. Jared asked do I ever let my wife run my trains? I've like shown her how to do it once, just kind of as a joke. She doesn't care. Now I got another Yankees fan saying Yankees in 5. Never count your chickens. How many Hummers are on your layout? I think 1. 2. Oh, you got me. 2. I got 140 people watching right now. I was not expecting any of that. Thanks, guys. Okay. Sorry, I missed a lot of questions. I'm trying to go back. Someone asked what my favorite NS locomotive is in real life. Well, it was the Norfolk Southern F units. You know, the OCS. But they sold them off. Very sad. Yeah, Carl said he's been involved in the hobby for 35 years, and that it's sad to see the age of attendees, you know, increasing so much. But he says he appreciates YouTubers like myself bringing in new blood into the hobby. And that is what I strive to do. Someone asked if I'm going to have a Vision Line 700E coming. Nope, not ordering one of those. I already have 2 Hudsons, and the other Hudson I would want is MTH. I gotta make sure the 765 doesn't crash into this train I'm pulling out right now. Top siding. All right. I think we're in business. Yay, Kevin says go Guardians. Railfan Landon, hello from Michigan. David Kohler, great looking layout. Thank you. Oh man, struggling to keep up with these comments. David says you're kind of a big deal. I don't know about that, but thank you. Here's the train I just brought out. It's the Republic Steel switcher, hauling the hot metal cars. So now I got 2 trains running on that upper loop. That hot metal train and the 765. I gave the BNSF, whew, hot. Might need to put something different on here because these are toasty. Toasty, toasty. Not burning, but, you know, toasty. Paul asked how many transformers I use to operate with. I have 2 Z4000s that are my primary source of power, and then I have a Lionel brick that powers the Peninsula Roundhouse area, and I have another brick that I will incorporate into another loop. Because right now these 2 inside loops are on one Z4000 handle. I'd like one of them to be on the brick, one of them on the Z4000, just so that there's plenty of power to go around. What's your favorite Pennsylvania Railroad locomotive? That's the T1 duplex that I just did a video on. Love that engine. I was running it last night at the Detroit 3-Railer Clubhouse. Great engine. Someone asked how I can control MTH trains for under 350. I don't know how much DCS runs for these days. I don't know how much the new TIU is going to run for. So I mean, you can buy a transformer and a loop of track for less than 350. That's no problem. Rick says, multitasking, watching your trains while I watch Detroit spank Dallas. Yes, I did see that Detroit just completely had their way with Dallas. Good for them, especially after my Cleveland Indians whooped the Tigers yesterday. Lions are a good team. Detroit's going to have a fun year. Bob asked if I have videos constructing the mountain. No, I didn't video the mountain as I was building it, but I've explained in my layout updates with pictures of different steps along the way that I think shows kind of pretty well how I did it. John said if you could change anything about O-Scale, what would it be? I just want more modern stuff. I wish they would make more full-scale modern stuff. Atlas seems to be the only one who consistently does so. Lionel was doing a lot of modern freight cars for a while, like really nice big-scale freight cars, like these auto racks, like the big auto parts box cars, like the ethanol tankers, like the Milgons. They were really coming out with some cool modern rolling stock that I was excited about, and the last like 2 or 3 years their catalogs are just like gone. Like I think they maybe done like a run of coal cars lately, but nothing that's really like gotten me excited. Atlas keeps putting out some really good stuff. I'm really excited, you know, what they'll offer next. Oh, Jay's Railroad asked if I thought a 1-hour train compilation would be a possibility. Oh, of course it's a possibility. I'd love to do a video that was running every train in my collection. And I would like make sure I ran every single diesel and steamer engine. Try to run every single freight car in the collection. I think that could be a hour long. So maybe. That's a big time commitment though. It's not so much like editing a video like that, but filming it, having to get every train out, move it off the track. Filming takes a while. Mother Slug says, I'll be honest, after watching you and Eric's trains, you got me wanting a layout of my own. Never had a line of layout, still up in the air for me, as I know they take up a lot of space. They do take up a lot of space, but they don't have to. My layout is pretty big. It takes up the entire basement, but it doesn't have to. You don't have to have a ginormous layout. You don't even have a layout like this. You can have a layout an eighth the size of this and still have a lot of fun running several trains. I just like really long, big trains, so it requires a pretty big layout. Kirk, hello, in New Brunswick, Canada. Johnny asked if I could run the T1. The T1 is in the box right now because I was running it last night. I could get it out, maybe, but maybe not. Mother Slug also said I need some SD40-2 high hoods and short hoods, Norfolk and Western or NS. Yeah, I would like that for NS. I'm sure someone will one of these days. Hey, K&R Custom Models, how you doing? Really like your signals. Daniel says that myself and other YouTubers are bringing young people in the hobby. Keep up the good work. Thank you. So what I'm trying to do, young people, new people, just want to get people interested and involved in the hobby. I want this hobby to keep going the rest of my life. Got to get the new blood coming in. And it's a lot more fun too. You bring people in, you meet people, you become friends with them. It makes everything more enjoyable. Max Paul says, do you have that new Halloween engine? Pretty cool. The Halloween triplex is probably what you're talking about. No, I do not. But I did have my buddy over here the other night. And see if I can... I did film a video. Give you a little sneak preview. See if you can see that. That's the Halloween triplex, the Black Bonnet Dreyfus, a Atlantic Halloween steamer, and the Hot Dog Challenger, the Challenger paint scheme, all on the layout. We had a fantasy running night of all my buddy Dave's trains, so there'll be a fun video of that coming up soon. Hey, Bill B's here. Ozark, Midland, and Southern Railway. How you doing, Bill? Oh yeah, center beam scale cars would be sweet. I'm hearing, I heard a rumor that we might be seeing them from Atlas, a brand new tooling. We'll see. I hope so. That would be awesome. I have one, and it's MTH, and I paid top dollar. It's really cool, but they are hard to find. Hard to find, very expensive. Lake Erie and Midwestern Railroad, how you doing? Love your layout. Like watching your progress on YouTube. Reading Railroad fans asked, did I ever think the channel would be where it is at today? Where did I think it would progress when I first started? I hoped that it would like grow and gain a following. Closing in on almost nearly 20,000 subscribers. I don't know that I thought I would reach that level. But I've been playing it's definitely been like the slow and steady approach. I've been doing this for over 15 years. So, I'm not cranking out one video a week. I'm like 1 or 2 a month. But, I only do it because I enjoy it. I don't ever feel forced to make videos, or I don't put pressure on myself to make videos. I do it when it's fun, when I'm passionate about it. and when I give it my all. I don't want to half-ass anything. I want it to be like the best product I can put out there. And I want you guys to enjoy it. And if I ever go back and rewatch the stuff, I want to enjoy it too and not be looking there watching myself going, dang, that sucked. All right, let's see here. Mother Slug asked, what's my layout based off of? Well, this layout is heavily influenced by the Black Diamond Railway that Rich Batista built, modified it for my own space and needs, but it just is supposed to kind of represent New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia, mountainous Appalachian kind of town, where like the New York Central or the Pennsylvania Railroad would have passed through. And now it's all owned by Norfolk Southern. Hey, RBP's here. How you doing, Chris? Hey, I had no idea I was doing a live stream tonight either. It was a surprise stream. Surprise live stream is the best live stream. Something like that. I hope nobody else in the O-Gauge community is live streaming right now. Sorry if you are. I didn't mean to. Oh yeah, someone said the T1 pulling the double stacks. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. All right, let's just cool down. I think I can start the BNSF up again. Gotta load. I like to load the coupler slack a little bit, put it in reverse, and then let it rip. There we go. And we're off. All right, back to some questions. Someone asked if I'm excited for anything new that's coming out. Of course. I hear the Legacy Berks are supposed to arrive soon. I ordered the Polar Express Berk, so I'm really excited about that. I ordered some Atlas Norfolk Southern -9s a few months back. I'm real excited for those. I got some Berwick boxcars on order. I think that's everything. I think that's everything ordered. I really don't want to have a bunch of pre-orders. I'm like, because they all show up at once, and then it's like, wow, geez, too expensive. Got too many other things I need to spend money on. Can't have $3,000 worth of trains showing up at the same time. Hey, Max said, well, I lost it because there's so many comments. You and RBP are my favorite channels for trains. Thank you, Max. RBP has a great channel. He's a really good friend. Miss you, Chris, if you're still watching. Miss you, buddy. Was really looking forward to coming over during York, but that didn't work out. John H. asked what the purposes of the third rail. Over 100 years ago, they made model trains with the middle rail was, the positive, the outer rails were the negative. It made it easier, I'm assuming, to like do a switch or reverse loop. It was because it was sort of more toyish anyway, so I don't think realism was really a priority. And it's just stuck in O-Gauge for 100 years. I get it, like the people who are really into ultra realism, like their mind can't process it. A lot of us in the O-Gauge world, we grew up with it. We know like nothing other than the three rails, and it doesn't bother us at all. Like I don't even think about it, if I'm honest. Ah. Hold on. I pushed a button and I lost my place. All right, I need to catch up on this stuff. Oh, Ryan's train says, I love the BNSF power, but where's the NS? There's 2 NS trains parked under the layout. I think I should swap one. I think that'd be a good idea. I think maybe I'll park the BNSF because it's running really hot, and I'll bring up one of those NS trains. We'll do that in just a second. Although I really need to fill up the 765 with smoke again. All right, we're gonna stop the steel train. Then over on the other side of the layout, we're gonna stop the 765, fill it up with smoke. Okay. Oh, Eric Williams, thanks for your comment. He says, he really enjoys my videos. Thank you. Danny Daniels, yes, I'm going to plaster the mountains, paint it, cover the layout. You're not going to see plywood. You're not going to see brown paper. It's all going to be scenic. Eventually. What kind of ground cover do you think you'll use? A lot of woodland scenics, just the, sprinkle bottles and maybe some like fine rocks, like, fine stone kind of a thing. All right, am I almost caught up? All right, we're getting, let's not start a 3-rail argument in the comments. I'm gonna ban all of you. All right. 765 has smoke. All right, what train? We'll do that. There we go. And we're cooking again. All right. I'll get an NS train out here shortly. Someone asked what scale it is. This is O gauge. Yeah, Ryan says, great Sunday. Bears win and JD is live. Yeah, Bears did win. They must have a really good former Ohio State quarterback who plays for them. Yeah, we don't need to talk about Ohio State's loss. That was sad. Could have kicked a winning field goal, but messed up on the last play. Womp womp. Let's talk about the Cleveland Indians taking care of Detroit. Grand slam home run. Damn, that was a good game. I'm still on cloud 9 about that. Could you run any steam tonight? I am running. I got the 765 going. That's at least one. Max Paul says, I've been watching you build this layout from the very beginning. What an amazing accomplishment. Thanks for sharing. Hey, glad you've enjoyed it. Thanks for following along. Is anybody watching who has been following since like 2009, 2010 when I first started? That's a real OG if you were there in 2009, 2010. Yeah, Lake Erie Midwestern Railroad. Come on, tribe. I don't wear this hat for nothing. I went to Game 4 in Detroit this last Thursday, and went with some people from work. I wore my Indians jersey, my Indians hat, surrounded by Tigers fans. It was a very hostile environment. Thank God we won. Great game. And then Game 5 was amazing. And I do still call them the Indians. I can't help it. Everything I have says Indians. I don't... Yeah. Glenn Fresh says, do you think there should be more fixed pilot diesels and no gauge? Yeah, I do. I wish all of these were fixed pilots, but it would make sense to have all these diesels as fixed pilots moving forward, but then every diesel is going to require a minimum 072 curve, and a lot of people don't have that space, so there's like a trade-off. At least Atlas offers both options, and MTH. You can get a fixed pilot version in 2-rail and run it on 3 rails. 2-Rail Nation said, Dodgers or Mets? Ooh. I feel like if it came down to it, I guess I would have to cheer for the Mets. Matthew's O-Scale Train says, I've been following you since 2009. Thank you, Matthew. And Joe, yes, Joe Gennari, yes, I have recognized your name for all these years. Thanks for following me all this time. And Gary Woodard, Forbidden Rail, been following since I had 2 or 3 videos. Yeah, those were pretty crude, poorly put together videos, but they were fun. Hey, RJ's Trains says, oh my goodness, Jason is live. Yes, I am. I am so live right now. There's 161 people watching, so that's pretty cool. Have I considered getting any British engines? Not yet. Not yet. You know, maybe one of these days when I'm over in London, I'll be inspired by a live steam engine, and then I'll want to get a model of it. I was in London earlier this year, had a really great time. Rode the tube, but didn't do anything else. All right, we need to change some trains around, don't you think? So here's what we do. We park the 765 for a second. We're gonna stop it right there. Then I'm gonna park the steel train right behind it. I gotta go over here to make sure it doesn't slam into the back end. Maybe you can still hear me. I'm back here making sure these trains don't crash into each other. All right, there we go. Now I've got the switch thrown so that this will go to the lower level. And then all I have to do is not crash everything into each other. Oh, shoot. That's exactly what's going to happen right now. We can't do that. Stop. Oh, womp womp. All right, I gotta sit here and think for a minute. I know what to do. Okay. Took me a second, but I got this. All right. NS Freight, start. I realized I already have the lower level completely occupied with trains right now. So if I would have sent this down there, it would have crashed into the back of it and probably thrown like a bunch of cars off the track and onto the ground. My best friend Josh just texted me. Josh, if you're watching, screw you. Planes are dumb. This is my best friend Josh, he's a pilot. He just texted me, making fun of my trains. But he is equally as nerdy about planes. So it works out. The friendship works out. All right, now we're going to stop that. Now we're bringing up an NS train. We're going to throw some switches. And this will work, maybe, hopefully. Hopefully it works. Otherwise, everything's going to crash into each other and it's going to be a spectacular live stream disaster. Okay. I was in London with you, RJ. God, it was so good. Yeah, we're missing Eric Siegel. He'll be at York. I won't. Womp womp. Do I have UP 1943? No, I don't. No, I don't. That'd be a cool one to have, though. Ah, here comes NS. It's gonna go to the upper level to reverse. And oh, uh-oh. What's happening? Uh-oh. All these cars are banging around back here. What's going on? What the heck? Mysteries. What the heck is that? What the heck's going on? All these switch points were like... That's weird. That's never happened before. The switch points were... The switch points were askew. All right. Here we go. Try this again. Wasn't a derailment, so we'll take that as a win. Eric Williams said, I followed you from the old layout to this new layout. It's completely different, a lot bigger. It's similar, but it is quite different. Way, way bigger. It's over double the square footage. Oh, gosh. I can't keep up. I can't keep up with all these comments. Someone asked what my thoughts were on Blue Nami. I think it's really cool. I don't think I'm going to integrate it yet. Just another system to learn. And I'm stubborn, and I don't want to learn a new system right now. Yes, go Tribe, says Northwest Wind. Woohoo! Some interesting comments in here, too. Someone asked if they make slugs in O-Gauge. Yeah, they do. I know MTH did in Rail King. I don't know if they ever did Premier line full-scale slugs. That'd be cool, though. It'd be cool to have some, like, NS slugs on the layout. Okay, shoot. I gotta move some stuff now. Do that, do that, do that. To upper level, do that, click this. All right, chaos, chaos. Okay, gotta get the BNSF coming. Come on. Gonna send that to the lower level. All right, so now I'm sending the stack train to the lower level. I'm gonna park it down there. The mixed freight, the NS mixed freight, is gonna come back down exactly where this is right now. So I gotta get this out because next train's coming. Ryan asked, super update? No super update, although I did drive it Friday. Friday night I took it for a fun drive. Really always love driving that car. All right. The BNSF train is safely under the layout. And the NS mixed freight, which has no sound on, there we go, is now on the outside loop. Yay. There you go. You're welcome, everyone. New train. New train running. Caboose is uncoupled. What are you talking about? There's no missing cabooses. Don't scare me like that. Send me into a panic. Do I think I'll enjoy the Super more in the future? Yeah, definitely. I think there'll be more chances to drive it. Someone asked if I was going to buy the Vision Line Hudson. That was asked earlier, but nope, don't plan on buying it. I have 2 Hudsons already, both MTH. I really like them. And the other Hudson I want is also MTH. So no Lionel Hudson for me. I'm sure it's going to be really cool. I look forward to seeing it when it comes out. I'm sure one of my many YouTube buddies will review it. Not that I wouldn't review it if somebody, brought it over and let me run it and make a video on it. I would certainly do that, but I'm not buying one for my collection personally. Whew. Okay. I have caught up to all the comments. Whoops. All right, I can start the trains up top again. We'll start with the 765. Which needs more smoke, again. Thing is gobbling up smoke. There we go. That's a lot of smoke. I like that little switcher. And the blue caboose on the back is actually a CSX-owned caboose in real life. But when I was living in Northwest Indiana, I used to see it on a weekly basis. It was hauled around the network, CSX network, picking up steel loads, and it was kind of like a shoving platform car. Is that train on top supposed to be stopped? Yeah, it was, but they're all moving now. The observation car is missing. I don't know what you're talking about. There is a end of train car on the 765. Lacey Wrestling says, what made you only collect MTH? To be clear, I am far from collecting only MTH. My diesels and my locomotives are 99% MTH. I have one Lionel Legacy engine. I have 4 Lionel conventional engines from my childhood. The reason for that is because where I grew up, there were 2 train stores really close by. Both of them were heavily into selling MTH. They actually had little Lionel. So they're heavy on MTH, had a lot of Weaver, had a lot of Atlas. So like Stockyard Express that I always talk about, and Uncle Ray's Trains in Sheffield Lake, Ohio, both of them were like MTH dealers. So I had a lot of MTH. I had a lot of chance to buy MTH engines. And, you know, back then, being a teenager and then a college student, if I could afford to buy an engine, you know, this MTH diesel was selling for $400. Lionel's was selling for $600. So, like, when you're on a budget, it makes sense. Like, I went with MTH. It was more affordable for me, and honestly, MTH has made more of the modern stuff that I've wanted over the years. Lionel has made some great modern stuff, but in general, MTH has done, I'd say, a better job of putting out more modern locomotives. Now, that being said, that's not a bash against Lionel locomotives. There's a lot of great ones out there. When it comes to rolling stock, it's a completely different story. Everything in this mixed freight going by right now, every single car except 2 are Atlas. All those boxcars are Atlas, the auto racks are Atlas, all these hoppers are Atlas, these boxcars here are Atlas, the flat car coming is Atlas, the 3 tank cars are Atlas. It's not until you get to the center beam that you get to 1 MTH car, 1 Lionel Milgon, and then Atlas. The auto rack train, there's 2 Atlas articulateds in there. All the rest of them are Lionel. All the other auto racks are Lionel. And then this oil train, all Atlas. Every tank car, the buffer cars, Atlas. All Atlas. Whoa. 765 is catching up. Had them at wrong speeds. Both of my intermodal trains are almost all Atlas. I have Lionel 21-inch passenger cars. I have K-Line 21-inch passenger cars. The Triple Crown Road Railer train, that's all Weaver and Bowser. So accessories are a mix of MTH and Lionel. So I have stuff from all manufacturers. Someone asked if I have any videos on how I move trains to underneath the staging area. Yeah, just go back to like episode 1, 2, 3, and you'll see me when I was constructing that lower level and running trains. Gives you a good idea of how it works. Jimothy said, can I show you or run my Polar Express if I have one? I don't have one, but I have one on order. As soon as I get that, I will definitely show you and make a video. Mitch said, you have to get your girl to hang with you when you run trains. Make her a conductor buddy. I don't think that's going to happen. And my girl is my wife. Billy Smith asked, are the second and third locomotives dummies? No, they're all powered. Right now, everything on the layout Every locomotive is powered. I only have one dummy in the entire collection, and it was on that BNSF train that is now parked under the layout. Conductor 1995 asks, how many scale miles per hour do you run your trains at? Good question. On these two loops, I like to run them at like 30, 35, 40 scale miles an hour. I usually run this track at about 20 or 25, and upper level 15 to 20 miles an hour. It's no rule. That's just, I think that's a prototypical speed for the trains coming through town. My wonderful crumpled paper town. JML Railroad. Hey Jason, rough ending to the game last night. Ugh, WB. You must be a Tabittle alum. Right back at you, WB. I think I still have some WB shirts somewhere in the house. If you weren't in the Ohio State Marching Band, you wouldn't understand. When did you develop your crumpled paper cardboard mountain technique? That's how I learned how to do it from the Black Diamond Railway DVDs. That's how he did it, and he made amazing mountains out of it. So I'm just following Rich Batista, what he did. Oh, this is a nice comment. Luminous Sparadiso said, I just wanted to say you're a real inspiration of a man who's accomplished, dedicated his life to the hobby. I respect you along with your other fans. Thanks for being such an inspiration. I really appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. It's very kind of you. Sarah, happy birthday, Sarah. Sarah is my wife's sister, and today's her birthday. So happy birthday, Sarah. Yeah, Shelby's left for Texas first thing this morning. I took her to the airport so she could surprise Sarah for her birthday. So she's in Texas right now. They're having a lot of fun. Sarah said, what's the merch link? I don't have a merch link yet, Sarah. I need to get on that. People can just send me money in the chat. I don't expect that, though. It happens from time to time. But yeah, I need to set up a merch store. Put my logo on some t-shirts. Someone asked what kind of amperage I'm pulling with all these locomotives. Well, I can tell you because I run Z4000s. So, all right, this train is pulling about 3 amps right now. These two trains are on the same circuit, and they're pulling about 4.5 amps. The upper loop is pulling close to 6 amps, and that's really because those passenger cars are not LEDs, so they pull a lot of power. Conrail666 asked, hey Jason, is the MTH Wi-Fi any good? Yeah, that's what I'm using to run the trains right now. I really like it. I really don't have any complaints other than it would be great if MTH could make like an updated remote that would let you have both the touchscreen functionality and like tactile buttons for the horn and bell and like a scroll wheel like their old DCS remote had. I think that'd be really good. I would really like that. I get that they did the app to like appeal to young people, and I mean, I use it, so I guess it worked. It works in that regard, but I feel like in this hobby, people would still really like a remote that they don't have to be looking at their phone. They want to be watching their trains go by, and you know, maybe the remote's even behind their back and they're watching the train go by, honking the horn. Like, you can't be like doing this while the train goes by. You're not enjoying it. Ryan's Trains reminding everybody to like the video. Appreciate that. You got the best photo cover. I don't know what photo you're talking about, but thank you. Though the Z4000s, they work for conventional just as good as in command control. Like if I didn't have the TIU running through it, each side of the Z4000 has a whistle button, a bell button, direction. So yeah, you can use it for conventional, no problem. Great, actually a great transformer for conventional control. Okay, I think I'm caught up to all the questions again. Whew. I enjoy answering your questions. I struggle to keep up with them sometimes. 178 people watching for an unannounced live stream. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate that. Train guy said RBP's at the front door. Well, that'd be great. I'm just hanging out here alone with the dogs right now. Just running drains. Drew's Drones and Diesels asked if I have any Reading and Northern stuff. I used to have the F9s that Lionel came out with. They're really nice engines, but I wasn't running them. Like, they just sat most of the year and they looked good, but I just wasn't running them that much. And the pickup rollers were derailing a lot. I could have fixed them, but I found somebody who really wanted them, paid me a really good price for them, and I was able to buy a bunch of other trains. So. Let's see here. We're going to wrap it up here in a little bit, so if you have any last-minute questions, go ahead and ask them. How long have I been streaming for? I don't even know. 73 minutes. Okay. Mark's O-Scale Train says, "Hi Jason, joining late. Are you enjoying the Base 3? I didn't buy the Base 3. When it came out, a buddy of mine brought it over to the layout. It was like, he was one of the first people to get it. We hooked it up, and it worked pretty well, actually. I know it had some bugs that they have since rolled out updates to fix, and it seems to be running very well now. But even when it was on this layout, it was running pretty well. So, I mean, it seems like it's a decent system, but I did not buy one. I have one legacy diesel, so I've already got a Base 2. Harry Sadler said, "I'm an HO scaler, but I enjoy watching your live streams. You're the reason I have so much Norfolk Southern rolling stock." You're welcome. That's what I like to hear. More Norfolk Southern. Hey Jason, what do you think your next NS unit will be? I don't know. I ordered the Dash 9s from the Atlas catalog. But would I get another Heritage unit? Norfolk Southern Heritage unit? Might be one or two I'd be interested in. All right. Gotta fill up smoke again. Man, the 765 really burns through the smoke. These diesels could use some more smoke too. They're running lean. Oh yeah, Conductor 1995 asked if I would buy New York Central 3001 since it was just announced that it's being restored. I would love to. Actually, Trainman Dan brought his to the Detroit 3-Railer Clubhouse last night. The MTH PS3 version was running it around, and I was like, MTH better re-release that soon, because I would be all over that. That's really exciting to have a New York Central Mohawk running again. It's going to be awesome. No, I do not have the CNJ Heritage unit. I have the Conrail, Monongahela, Southern, New York Central, Pensy, Norfolk Western, Nickel Plate, and yeah, that's all of them. Let's see here. And no, I don't avoid CSX because they're a competitor of NS. I just grew up with Norfolk Southern. That's what I always saw. That's what I want to collect. And that's what I rail fan. So I really didn't see a ton of CSX growing up. And I don't hate CSX. It's just one day I'll add a CSX engine or two. But right now it's just not a priority. All right. All right, I think we're gonna wrap this impromptu live stream up. We had almost 200 people watching at one point. That was really cool. Thanks everyone for stopping in. It was really good chatting with you and answering your questions. Hope you enjoyed all these trains running in circles for the last 78 minutes. And hopefully I'll have some more videos out soon. If you haven't checked out Layout Update 18 already, that came out a little over a week ago, so check that out. And yeah, have a good Sunday night. Have a great week. See you next time.